Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again. I just want to apologise that I haven't been about for quite a while. Unfortunately, I've been a bit ill, and unfortunately my wife's father suddenly passed away a few weeks ago, so I've had to look after the financial sides of all his estate, and obviously left his two daughters to do the other bits and pieces. Funeral was 2 weeks ago now, so that's all done. It's just a matter of now tying up loose ends and paying up the bills, and that's took quite a chunk of time out of me. And when I was ill, I just didn't want to come to the bench, just coughing and coughing and coughing. I had a chest infection, as you know, but then I got another one and another one after that. So, but now I'm alright. Touch wood. Touch wood. So the last update I did was on the JSU-122 VS. I painted it and nothing else at the moment apart from that. I wasn't even going to do it on a diode, but when I got towards finishing the thing, I thought, well, I'll do a diorama for it. So I have done, and I've actually just got it finished today. I'm quite pleased with it. I just thought it was worthy of a diorama, you know, with the tank itself come out reasonably well. So I'll put some figures and that to it, and I shall bring it in and we can have a peruse over it. Right, where we are, here we go. Let's be careful, don't damage anything. Right, so here we go. This is a flag that I got, these cotton flags. It was an idea that Mr. Coyne suggested to me, like putting an emblem or something. I've ordered a Russian star as well, but then I forgot ID, so I made a backing plate out of balsa wood and just varnished that as well. So that's in there now. Let's get this crinkly bag out of the way. Yeah, so that's what I did with that. Makes this something different on it. As you can see, I've done a winter camouflage tank, obviously, so it's going to be in winter. So let's have a look around what we've got. We'll start from the back here to start with. We have made ice. Where's my pokey stick gone? Never have a pokey stick when I need one, do I? Never ever. This bit of sprue will do. On here, if you can see down where I'm pointing, I made some ice from resin. I used the AK, what else is it called? AK snow sprinkles. Mixed a bit of resin up and put a bit of the snow. A bit of the stuff in the snow sprinkles into it, mixed it so you got a transparent, not a fully transparent colour, but like an icy colour, if you want to call it that. So then I spread it out thinly on a piece of glass, let that set, and then I peeled it off and just broke it up with my fingers and things and got small chunks. So that's what I've added on the back of here. Obviously I've added the AK mud stuff on here around the rear. These are obviously, you've seen all the stowage. Yeah, let's go around this way. Got a fence, there's ice there, and I made a little river, or part of a river I should say, which is here, which has now got an ice flow on top of it. We're using the same stuff again, and then I did a little dry brush of white over the top just to catch some of the edges so you can defy the bits of ice. These are just bits and pieces from my garden, apart from these, and these little bulrushes are made out of cable. You know, the thin cable, like a USB cable or something like that. Split that, and then I cut it into lengths and then just split the plastic cover on the outside and put it back over and painted it, and that came out reasonably well. I'm quite pleased with those. So that's all these bulrushes are, is a piece of wire. Right, so let's go around here now, and then we've got coming toward the figures. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tankers, I believe. Just having a relax, having a smoke and a chat. Obviously with the, I think this must be a command figure of some description. They're all on a little chat, and these two lads on the turret are having a brew. don't know if it'll be tea though, probably be vodka. But yeah, so, and again we've got ice round the front, can we see again? We've got ice round here as well, and mud mixed in this time because obviously tracks have gone through it, and same along the sides of the actual tank itself. What else have we got? Oh, the trees. I can get the trees. Let's see if I can just bring the camera up slightly and you can see the trees. These are made, I made these myself, these two trees. There's a piece of dowel in there, and I've drilled millions of holes, left, right and whatever, to and then I put some florist wire through each hole, super glued them in, and then on top I've sprayed them with a like a brownie colour, brownie grey colour, and if you look on the bottom, you don't know if you can quite see. Let me zoom in, so let me zoom into them. Oops, sorry. If we look at some of the trunks, what I've done here is like a dry soil. So I've PVA'd that and dry soil on it to represent the bark, and I've added a bit of green on the back for moss on the sides there. As far as with the trees, obviously we've got what I did after it was all finished and sprayed, I then used spray glue, just give it a good coating, and then I used the dead stuff, the dead sort of grass first, more along the bottom, just to get the dead leaves at the bottom, well, dead branches at the bottom, and a little bit up and down the trees as well, just a bit of, you know, as a filler. And then we did grass again the same way, just sprayed it, and then we sprinkled grass, 2mm grass, obviously 4mm grass all over the trees. It didn't matter what colour they were at that point because I've changed the colour anyhow, so I've just done like a pine colour, I suppose they are, and we've got a light dusting of snow on them, so I'm quite pleased with those. I made actually, while we're there, I can actually show you one closer up if you like, just a second. I made 3 thinking 3 would be more than what I wanted, so I made, this is another one that I made. You can see that, where we got them. Let's just move that back there. So we've got this, let's zoom back out. Bloody camera. No, it's out, I want to go out. Okay. Yeah, so stay where you are. Bloody twisting this camera all the time, never mind. As you can see, it's the same again with the, you see the bark texture on there as well. Fairly easy, not hard to make, but time consuming more than anything, but they come out reasonably well. I've got a few ideas again for some more trees when I do another diorama eventually which needs trees. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Right, so the river, obviously I've showed you the river, the figures, the weathering on the tank. I've used actual soil from my garden dried out, you can see. Let's just see if we can zoom in now, if we can get it right. Top of the tank itself, let's lift it up. We've got the weathering on top of the casemate. This is all just soil, and obviously I've pin washed it and things like that. This is a piece of stowage that came with all the rest of the stowage, and this guy with his helmet here. Machine gun, can never pronounce it, DSK, well, I think something, I can't remember the number. And I think his cigarette's fallen out of his hand there, I'll have to be careful, put that back in. Yeah, all soil around here. These are PE, as you know. Damage, we've got the damage on the front with the shell impacts, and there's a couple on the side. Oh, we can't really see on that side really. Let's have a look on the other side, if we can see. Yeah, a couple of shell impacts down here, but you can't see because of the cap, because of the trees in the way. All these are these are resin, came with all the stowage, which was really nice to paint. I enjoyed painting those. And again, these are the metal tracks which you've seen. The damage on the front mudguard and on the rear. There's no mudguards on the rear at all. Underneath the trees, I used some dried tea leaves and some shredded up orchid soil, and dried that out so it became a bit lighter colour. And all these little branches from the garden at home, all these, where can we see? We can't even see what I'm looking at, can we? So let me just adjust the camera again. Let's zoom out. Okay. Let's get the trees. Right, the base on the trees, you can see. Which is going to be better to see it out. I think we'll have to do from this side. As you can see, there's bits of twigs and a lot of these tree little sticks and branches are from the garden again there, and all these little bits here are should we stand up that really. I had some spare off the tree, so I cut them into short bits and just scattered them around there, broken branches and things like that. And then this is the snow from what to call the company. Actual snow is Precision Ice and Snow. It's a real nice product as well. You get, I think you used to get a starter kit for 25 quid, which you got this 2 kinds of snow, well, for coarse and fine I think it is, the actual sieve, the glue, and 2 white washes and a white paint as well, which I didn't use on this build, but I did use on the old Sherman, you know, the Cobra King one I did a few years ago, or a year ago, whatever it was. I used the stuff on there as well, so I've mixed this time. The soil here is the new VMS stuff. That's really nice to use. It really is lovely to use. You can see perfect imprint on the tracks and things like that. And underneath this water, underneath this ice, I used still water from, is it AK still water? I think it's AK still water, just to put like a few, you know, as if it's water in there, and these have cracked and they started to melt, and again on here and here and underneath the tank. These are just I just use a static grass applicator on these, and then change the colour again, and all these little bits and pieces that's round here, round the front. These are all just from the garden, and again spare bits from the trees. What else have we got? Fence is just made. I just cut some balsa wood up, and these parts here are matchsticks. I glued them on. I put a pinprick in there, and actually on some of them I can't really see much now. I've actually put nails into them that's sort of bent over, just using very fine wire really. I drilled a hole and just popped it in there, and a bit of rust on there, but you can't really see it now because of the snow. That's no problem. Yeah, so overall I'm very happy with it. I really am. It's come out quite well, better than I expected. I say I wasn't going to do a dio, but as you can see I thought it deserved one, so I did one. Let's just move the camera. You don't want to see my ugly mush. You certainly don't want to see my ugly mush. Let's have a, apart from the trees, we can see that there now, can't we? Yeah. So I'll give you a spin round, and we'll call it a day. Yeah, so the next build is, I'll do an intro build to that. There's a few people know what it is, but a lot of people don't know what it is at the moment, so I'll do an intro to that, which will be coming up shortly. So we'll just have another little spin round, and you can have a look at the details at your own leisure. I'll keep quiet. So I've decided, I asked Angela, my wife, I'd like to dedicate this build to my late father-in-law. He was a bit of a modeller himself. He mainly built those matchstick models, you know, he buys matchsticks, and he did a lot of diamond art. He did, he did some modelling as well. He bought a big submarine. I can't remember what scale it is. It's absolutely massive. I think it's a Gator class. I think it's a Revell. Not 100% sure, but I've got that on top of my cupboard. He didn't paint it, so I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's how we wanted it. So I've got that on top of my cupboard on top of the hallway, so it looks quite nice. Right, so I'll shut up and you can have a quick look around. I should have said just underneath here, this is all balsa wood, obviously an old picture frame, and underneath here is just all the old polystyrene that comes with your, boxes and kits and things like that. I keep all that, and I use that just to infill it all. Waste not, want not. quite happy with my figures, and my figures are starting to getting better. I'm getting better with the faces. Quite happy with those. There's only, I think there's only 2 figures or 3 figures on the next IO, so there isn't as many as there's on here. Only got 2, 4, got 8 on here. Quite happy with them. Took me time. Happy with the faces this time, a bit better. Just need to work on that again, but generally speaking, yeah, I'm happy with the figures at the moment. I did a belt to the sling to his machine gun, and again with the rifle there. And obviously blended in with the mud and the ice, and there again he's just got, you know, mud on there, so they haven't actually been onto the shimmied along and having a brew, I would presume. It was a nice kit. It was a Dragon kit, as you know, and it was a simple kit to build, very simple kit to build, but it looks nice. I'm very happy with it. Details here, you know what I've done with it from earlier updates. I've got plans for another couple of Russian vehicles in the pipeline, and when I've done the other DIO, me and Paul are starting off our buddy builds again. As you know, Paul's doing his HMS Nelson and he's doing a brilliant job with it, so we haven't parted ways. We just he's doing what he wants to do and I did what I wanted to do. Which obviously Paul did the JSU-122, so you know, this is a buddy build, but I'd say I'd like to dedicate it to my father-in-law as a token of my esteem. He was a nice gent, you know, really was a nice gent. Made me feel welcome straight away when I first met my wife. I say it was a bit of a shock because he was relatively fit for his age, and unfortunately he had a massive stroke or heart attack, and apparently he didn't know anything about it, which is good to a certain degree. But obviously we wish it never happened, but it was a shock. It really was a shock. So this is for David. He's called David as well, and my son's called David as well, as you know. So this is for him. If I can get somebody to, a good friend Vince, I think he's fallen off the planet at the moment, so if anybody could be nice to contact me and could print me a little, you know, little sign just to fit round here saying David blah 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 on there, I'd be eternally grateful. So there we go. Another one finished. Heck, I've finished one this year and we're in March, nearly April, and I've only done one, but as you know I don't build fast anyhow. Right, so again thank you to all my subscribers, new and old, and thanks Jason from Model Kit Stuff who did a Meet the Creator. I did that before Christmas, and it was nice of him to do that. It really was nice of him to do that. I think I got relatively good feedback as well, so I've got a few extra subscribers. I see I'm getting close to 4,000 now, which is, I'm happy with 4,000, bloody hell. Never thought I'd have 4,000, but there you go. Yes, so thank you all very much again for your time to watch, and again your comments. And of course Lazy Arse doesn't reply, but I do appreciate the comments. I do like, and I read them all. So thank you very much, and we shall see you very soon with an update, an introduction to the next build. So this is Greg signing off, and we shall catch you very, very soon.